preconceived, inherited ideas about reservation or affirmative action, if we use the right word, or corrective measures, again politically and ethically right word. And second, the role and nature of the state in general and under the current dispensation. And third, what we understand by an Ambedkarite perspective. So these are three aspects that I would develop one by one. Before that, I would like to ask you about this book. You must have come across this book. This book is called An Era of Darkness. And if you have not read this book, you must have come across that video which was viral a few months ago of this great, considered to be gifted author called Safdarjung. And he has written that book called Era of Darkness. What this book is all about, asking the British Crown to repay whatever material loot or exploitation that they have done in the course of colonial tyranny. It's an excellent book, and this person is supposed to be a gifted author, and he has also named it An Era of Darkness, that is colonial era. So I think some of you must have by now guessed that there is a bit of mischief about this, why I am referring to this book, because he is considered to be gifted, and gifted is an euphemism for someone who is privileged. There is a difference between gifted and privileged. Gifted is a kind of evacuating historical factors from whoever who possesses cultural capital, intellectual capital, social capital and political capital. These many capitals, and we are differentially equipped with. And some of you are privileged in those capitals. And then we say he's gifted. No, he's not gifted, he studied at St. Stephen, if I'm not wrong. Okay, and so he has written. It's an excellent book. But An Era of Darkness starts with the colonial tyranny, ends with the independence. My question is, can we go beyond colonial era and broaden this era of darkness? We can broaden this era because it's about exploitation of natural resources, different capitals by tyrannical apparatus, that was colonial apparatus. But within our society, there is a kind of exploitation which is century old, that was again and again highlighted by people like Mahatma Phule, Baviskar Sharad, Shahu Maharaj. That's what we call the tyranny of ages. This tyranny lasted, and which resulted in this today's unspeakable inequality. The inequality that we are unequal in many regards is the result of these historical practices. Because we don't believe in gifts. I mean, we are not gifted. There are historical reasons to that. Okay, gift means bringing in some divine factors. We know that there are divine factors. These are historical factors, and these are historical injuries. If some of us are underprivileged, quote and unquote, it is because of these historical injuries, and these are negative actions for centuries, in response to which people like Baba Sahib Ambedkar put in place affirmative actions. Because there were negative actions, and we have to make people aware that there are these affirmative actions are not in isolation or in the absence of historical injuries. These historical injuries, they have to be educated about again and again. And then SC, ST, OBC and women, of course, because the patriarchy question is a fundamental question. That's what in the last part of my talk I will talk about patriarchy, because Ambedkarite perspective is that perspective of samta. It is not samrasta. Okay, samrasta wale ho sakte hain aur kar rahe apne samrasta, but samta. What we understand by samta perspective, which is we call in this today's talk Ambedkarite perspective, which is a paradigm which is inclusive of many things, which we have to articulate again and again. It is not a paradigm of resentment. It is not a paradigm of resentment. It's not that we are resenting. It is a positive paradigm. It is not a vindictive paradigm, because this paradigm is based on a very powerful, universally valid principle of social justice. social justice is that principle because of which there was division right from the late 19th century, which separated, that division you can see in the late 19th century, that Mahatma Phule didn't agree with the gang of this Congress party at the time, then Tilak and all these people, because there was a social question and there was a political question. Of course, political question was important, but then social question means the already existing tyrannies against SC, ST, OBC women, marginalized. So this paradigm we have to again and again assert, it's a paradigm which is of universal nature, which is not identity on the basis of a particular identity. That we have to articulate the positive component of this paradigm. Now I'll come back to, I'm done with this third fellow. Yeah, now as I said that, we see that, most of us, we are differentially equipped in terms of these four capitals, and I'm not mentioning those capitals which are not quantifiable, like psychological, like stigma attached to certain things. There are some categories which are of psychological nature. Okay, where affirmative action is not just about economic factor. Affirmative action is about it's about that the corrective measure of the psychological, castration. Many of my friends, let's say 15 years ago when I came to JNU, they were naturally kind of, they used to fall in line and play second fiddle to born leaders. They were born leaders, no. Most of us are not born leaders. And they used to fall in line because psychologically we were not equipped with that capital. And these capitals, if we are differentially equipped, it has its historicity. It is not because of some divine will. It is not pichle jan ke baad that we don't believe, because that's a kind of an illusion that is created. It is because of historical process and these things how to rectify. Now let us come to the role of the state, the nature of the state in general, and the state, the way it's behaving or functioning under the current dispensation. Okay, what is the role of the state? The way it is conceptualized, envisaged in the constitution, it is a welfare state. Okay, it's a welfare state. Yeah, welfare state means it has to be an instrument of social justice. But there are 1,000 ways of scuttling this affirmative, this principle of social justice, and the one which is visible, that is visible, but the invisible, Gadkari Favor is saying that nokri nahi to kahan se reservation lekar kya karoge? We should be aware of the challenges are there actually. When the state will shrink in its role as a welfare state and will grow as an instrument of punishing people. Because there is on one side growth of the state as an instrument of punishment, and there is a shrinking of the state in its task of remedying or correcting these historical injuries. And this process started well before this current dispensation. It started with those people who believe in slow death. The current dispensation, they believe in fast death. That's the only difference I see. Okay, the difference between the previous and this dispensation is not of paradigmatic nature. It is of kind of degree. These people believe in they are in hurry. They are simply in hurry and they are blatant in their decisions. But slowly, gradually, because which are the walks of life where the state can intervene and rectify and empower us, is education. These are fundamental fields. Polity, they can't help it because, but what will you do with the polity if you are not intellectually equipped? If we would be asked to study in substandard institutions because everything will be privatized. That is one of the ways of scuttling the reservation, privatizing. So our next struggle should be even ask reservation there. Because these are the domains of vital importance, education, profession, all these things, and state cannot afford to ignore this role of rectifying these unspeakable inequality. Gender, on the basis of gender, of course, caste is the point of departure for all of us because of propaganda. It's not for generation because the history of reservation is not that good. First thing. So we have to first dismiss this propaganda. Second thing, reservation is not about economic situation. It is about the right to be there. Okay, and if right to be there, we have to ensure so long as the blatant practices based on caste are persisting in our society. This caste is a very powerful category in those who are sitting across the table. So even if you are rich, bright, nothing can guarantee you protection against that discrimination. So this reservation is not just about economic, it is about social affirmation, social representation there. So even if you're bright and all that, your brightness may not be visible at all. Okay, that economy and all that doesn't really matter. Because I remember, I have done almost all my education in general category, but I got the job to OBC category. Okay. And no matter how good French I speak, how many degrees I have from international universities, had I applied in general category, I would not have got the job. मैं लिख के देता हमारे पहले दूसरे ऐसे सरनेम के जॉब मिल जाती जिनको मतलब छोड़ ही दो डिबेट. So it has nothing to do with competence, nothing to do with economic condition. It is to do with what set of people are sitting across the table. But see, in my center, for example, I will see in my center. So we are 100% there. And second thing which is very important, the stupidity or incompetence of particular category is rendered invisible. Their stupidity is never, if somebody is slightly kind of incompetent, not incompetent but less competent, we will say अरे reservation से आएगा और मैं सिर्फ 10 आपके सामने खड़े कर दूंगा जो मतलब कुछ भी नहीं आता है और वो सुपर जनरल कैटेगरी से आए, उनका इनकॉम्पिटेंस कभी हमें नजर ही नहीं आता है क्योंकि हम ब्लाइंड हैं, हिस्टोरिकली हम ब्लाइंड हैं. मैं ऐसे तो 1000 गिनवा दूंगा, अब मैं बड़ा ब्लड इंसानों को गिनवा देता हूँ और मुंह पे भी बोल देता हूँ, मैं मुंह पे बोल देता हूँ.
The second thing is, if even such people do not come in the reserved seats, then it will run into that same situation that she was talking about presidency. So some who opt out, as Sharad said, that's okay. But then there should be at least one representation. Now, if they have not made it through the general category, then they should have at least been considered in the reserve. But then the evaluation was so orchestrated, so therefore institutional mechanism was twisted around to not even serve that purpose.
And just one sentence to what he said, in IIT and all these things, it's training that takes place. We have to go for education. Education means read Ambedkar, you will get a lot of confidence and strength to fight back. आप डिप्रेशन में जाओगे दूसरे को डिप्रेशन में डाल दोगे if you read fully. Okay, and so training is important, skills are important, but education is very important. That how society functions, how society is organized. So IIT, all these things are training to perform a particular mechanical task. But education is what precedes of agitation and organization. Agitation, indignation stems from education. तो ऐसे हमारे जो मित्र उनको बोलो कि ये साहित्य पढ़ो,